Hey guys, so I finally have to put my 2 cents in here. I've been seeing all this bullshit going on. People putting Anthony Caiman on trial for shit that he's not done. Uh, Questioning his past, his present, his projects, everything they can. And you know what? I used to be part of that train too. I used to be one of the naysayers who said, oh, he didn't do this and he didn't do that. He didn't fulfill this. But I was listening to people. I was listening to people, just like the people who are accusing him now. You're listening to people. You have zero proof. I didn't have any proof. I was brainwashed. But you know what? Anthony and Mandy still forgave me for the bullshit I was saying to them. And you know what? That stands the test of time because I'm still here. I'm still supporting him. And you know, I don't have a lot of money right now. And Anthony works with me. And Mandy works with me on like what I can afford. And you know what? Not too many directors out there who do that. So I have to finally say something because, and I'm gonna name drop here. Amy Crabtree is the ringleader of this whole shit still. Because all the things people are saying, all the things are doing, is her all the way. She's her possessed mind, her sick, twisted, obsessed mind keeps coming back to Anthony. Every time a relationship doesn't work, she remembers of that one time when she thought that they had a thing. You know what? She was lying the whole time. I didn't know that. When Anthony told me how old she said that she was saying to him, I knew right there because I was friends with Amy Crabtree. I was one of her best friends, but I knew how old she was. And just because Anthony calls her out and says, "Hey, that's it, I'm done," she goes on a vendetta. And she told me this several times that she has him on speed dial. She would call him. She would call him. She would call him. Finally, he had a block. She's the one that has secret names. Did she tell you that too? She has secret names, and I told her the last conversation I think I had with her, and I told her that's wrong. Just because someone doesn't want you in a relationship because you lied, Amy, you lied. You go on this vendetta of trying to bring them down because you were jealous. You said to me one time, how dare she take my man, referring to Mandy. That wasn't your man anymore. Wasn't your man to really begin with. So you guys had some sexting. Shit, everybody did that. But you know what? This is 6 years ago now. Move the fuck on. See, so instead of fighting the battle alone, you start spreading it around. Hell, even Nicole Vegas bought your shit. And look at what she did. Yeah, I'm name dropping. I don't give a shit. I'm starting to think that Nicole's whole relationship, when she first got onto the podcast with Mandy, I think her whole thing was try to get as close as she could with the Caimanos and then screw them one day. But how does she screw them? She steals an idea from a 13-year-old girl. I know it was that 13-year-old girl's idea. I was there when Emmy came up with that idea. and I don't mean to piss other people off, but you're making a movie that was derived from a 13-year-old girl's mind. How proud she was of coming up with an idea that her mom and Anthony were going to make now because of that. So you took that opportunity to screw them and bring it to another camp. And you bring it to Sean C. Phillips of everybody? Wow. Like, talk about desperation. Sean C. Phillips is the shadiest individual in the horror community. You guys like to think it's Anthony. It's not. Anthony made Blood Loss, several awards. Anthony's worked with Ari Lehman. Behind the scenes, I saw the pictures. Fantastic video. Fantastic music video altogether. And you know what? I hear on an interview recently that, oh, aren't you biting off more you can chew with all these movies? No, because he's not making all these movies at the same time. You know, Sean C. Phillips puts out like 3-4 movies a year, and they're all crap. They've been crap. Yet you criticize a guy who's concentrating really on one movie every time. Yeah, he has other campaigns out there, and those campaigns will get made one day. That's what he said about Blood Loss. And guess what? Blood Loss took a little bit while, but guess what? It got played in a theater. It won awards. Ari Lehman was so impressed. And look at what they got. They got to make a music video. You talk about, oh, these scam. Oh, he scams this and scams that. You know what? I've received all my perks. And I know several other people that have as well. They have all these claims that he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, he doesn't do this. Where's their proof? Did anybody ever bother to ask all these allegations? Does anybody have proof? You know, I thought in this country you're innocent until proven guilty. But I guess that doesn't count with some people in the horror community. You're guilty until you prove yourself innocent. That's not how it works. You know, I used to be ridiculed for creating controversy. And I swore I was going to give up on that, but I've been sitting by watching all this shit go down between Mary Kate, whoever that is, between Nicole Vegas, now the resurgence of Amy Crabtree and Sean C. Phillips. You know, the one thing I want to, and I'm not going to name the person, but I've warned people about Sean C. Phillips in the past. And people were like, oh, no, you just don't know him. I've gotten threatened with lawsuits because of things I said about him. And then I also had people apologize to me because everything I said about Sean C. Phillips was true. Well, I'm gonna tell you another thing that's true. Is Anthony Caiman is a good guy. He is a good dude. Not only did he forgive me, he credits me every time I even just promote one time for him. Always thanks me. And he doesn't push me to do this. I do it because I love to do it. I love promoting. I love promoting good people. But I cannot sit by and watch him and his wife go through this. You know, Nicole Vegas tried to get Mandy's kid taken from her. Threatened many times. She's going to call Department of Family and Children because Anthony's a threat. Oh, fuck off. You know what? I talked to both of them on the phone. I've talked to both of them ever since they forgave me for being a follower, just like all the followers out there who believe Nicole, who believe crab legs. I've known Anthony and Mandy longer than any of you out there. You know what it is? You guys just don't think there's enough room for all these directors out there. You try to take advantage of people and tell them, hey, this Anthony guy, you just better not, because you won't get your perk for him. No, because you want it all for you. There's enough people in this fucking world to support everybody. But no. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care who sees this. Because go ahead, sue me. I don't work right now. I have a lot of health issues, so go ahead. I'm just sick and tired of good people getting run down. And I'm glad Anthony went on that interview. Because none of you guys did. He even said that he tried to reach out to all the parties. And guess who's the only one that called for the bell? Anthony did. Because the rest of you, gutless. Hell, you guys should convince this host to grow. I mean, yes, it's called Unfiltered. Yes, get it. But you know what? A lot of it sounded like you convinced this host that everything you guys were saying was true. But you know what? Anthony stuck in there, answered his questions, did an over-hour interview, stuck to his guns like he always has. How low is that? To try to threaten to say you're gonna have her kid stripped from you. She probably never told you that, guys, except for the ones that follow her. So I hope somebody who doesn't know all this shit, I hope they would watch this video. Because honestly, if you see Nicole Vegas on a project, stay away from it. And I'm only saying this because of how shitty she has acted. She tried to accuse Anthony of bashing her first. No, 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 no. I watched Anthony's first video. It was a whole rebuttal to a video she already made. In my book, that's you took first blood, not him, to quote an actor. I love this community. I love the horror community. But I don't like it when shit like this happens. So anybody who jump ship, anyone who is involved with Nicole Los Angeles or whatever fucking she's called herself, anybody who's involved with Amy Crabtree, Sean C. Phillips, you're all being taken for a ride. And to the unnamed person, I'm sorry you don't see this with clearer eyes because that you're friends with these people. But I'm telling you, it's not a way to go. And I want people to know, anyone who watches this, whether you know what's going on, whether you don't know what's going on, there's a movie out there that took an idea from a 13-year-old girl out there. And the one I'm still always going to be behind to support is Killer Pizza. No extra words on it, no men, no females, no trans, just Killer Pizza. So that's all I gotta say, because this whole thing about bashing Anthony has sickened me. This is a 6-year-old story that is all hearsay. One person tells another person, who tells another person, who tells another person, and all of a sudden it's considered to be true. How does that work with zero proof? You want to know the funniest part about this whole thing? And this is what I'm going to end it with. Everybody says, oh, Mandy was assaulted that night on video. Here's the funniest part. How did she get assaulted if just minutes later we were all talking? I called just to see what happened to the video, because it just disappeared. It ended. Of course, Mike Sankovich was directing the show, and Mike Sankovich has never been the greatest producer of shows. That's the only bad thing I'll say about him, because he was good to me. But he was never a producing master. But I called Anthony and Mandy. Hey, what happened to the feed, guys? And they told me. But if there was some major assault going on, you'd think they would have answered. Sad, sorry people out there. Sad, sorry people. So how about next time you bring some proof about any of this? About the assault. Bring a video actually showing it, because you're not going to find one. How about you bring some proof of someone that didn't get all their perks? And you can't use Amy Crabtree, because the only reason she's ever done any of this is because she felt slighted that someone else was better for Anthony. So of course she's gonna spin some lies and try to get people to believe her. Oh, she was sexually assaulted. How can you get assaulted if you never met him? Fucking twit. This whole thing just sickens me. Move on with your fucking lives and move on with the movies. That's all I gotta say. Anthony, Mandy, keep up the great work and let all this bullshit go by the wayside. Much love.